Welcome to Newsmakers. My name is Sean Smith. I'm the Assistant Director of Community Relations for Chesterfield County Public Schools. Join us today, Dr. Robert Wingfield. It's great to have you.
Good to be here.
You're a familiar face to Chesterfield schools and the community, and also to Newsmakers. For those out there, you are the Director of Pupil Transportation.
Yes, sir.
And we want to talk a little bit today about some of the new technologies you've been bringing to the bus fleet. Tell us about what's been going on.
Well, we had a big addition last summer. We purchased an automated routing and GPS system, and the installation of the GPS started last summer and continued throughout the fall. We actually finished with the installation of GPS on the special needs buses in December. And those GPS units gave us enormous amounts of data. Not only does it allow us to track and monitor the buses, on a daily basis, it gives us real-time data on the speed of buses. It also gives me information on when the buses are stopped, how long they're stopped for, when their amber lights are on, when their red lights are on. It gives me information about idle time, which allows me to work with drivers on cutting down and reducing idle time, which is expensive. The automated routing system we are putting into place as we speak. We've actually been entering a lot of data throughout the spring. We have to enter all the student data, information on the students, and then we also have to put in all of the bus stop data that we already have in place, and then merge those two sets of data together. And then the software will allow us to run different scenarios, and it will tell us what's the most efficient way to run the buses.
Now, obviously, with the GPS and routing systems, walk us through kind of the thought process. Some of it's obviously, I think, very obvious from a taxpayer perspective, but having that on the fleet, what needed to happen in order for that to come into play?
Well, again, we had to do those installations, and that's it took some time for us to get that software onto the bus, and it monitors not only, as I said, the speed of the bus and the location of the bus, but it's wired into the systems on the bus, so we can see a lot of things that are going on daily with the buses. Again, electrical systems, the GPS units actually give us a signal in the mornings and let us know if there's a problem with the batteries. This past winter, we didn't have nearly the problems with getting the buses started early in the morning, right, because it gave us a signal ahead of time, and when the technicians would come in at 5 a.m., they had a list of buses that were showing low battery, and they could go out and start to work on those right away.
Now, obviously, when you're looking at the map and seeing, tell us again, remind the viewers how large the fleet really is that you're managing.
Right. We put the GPS on all 620 buses. We transport about 44,800 students a day. We have about 12,124 stops that we make every morning and afternoon, so 24,000 stops a day.
Now, obviously, with the routing system, there's a parent piece that comes into play as well. Talk to us about that.
Yep, and we piloted that this spring. Actually, myself and Scott Rudd had some people in our family that we got hooked up on the parent portal part of the application, and you can put information for individual children in. Parents can purchase this app from the company, directly from the company, and they're able to track their child's bus to the home in the morning and coming back in the afternoon, so they can see exactly where the bus is located, how far it is from their home. It really helps parents, especially on cold winter mornings,
right,
when you don't want to go out to the bus stop until the last minute. You can see exactly where that bus is at all times. It also allows us to send alerts out if the bus is broken down, those type of things, so parents know what to expect.
What has been the response so far from the driver's perspective? Knowing, I guess, internally for you as a manager, you have added tools at your hands, but what has been kind of the response even amongst the staff?
Well, as you might expect, it was very similar to when we added cameras to the interior of buses. A lot of the drivers at first were very apprehensive and worried about the fact that we were videotaping and watching them,
right,
when they drove. Now we've got the capabilities of seeing them drive all the time, where they're at, where they're located, how fast they're going, when they're stopped, where they're stopped. All that data is available to me daily. But as with the cameras, and I explained to them, probably 95 to 99% of the data that we receive from the GPS, that we received from those cameras and still continue to receive from cameras, supports what drivers do and what a great job they do every day. It helps us to know exactly where they're located and what's going on, so that we can help them. If there's ever a breakdown or there's ever any problems, we can get to them right away and know exactly what's going on with their bus.
Well, thanks so much for being here. We'll have to have you back. We have some new exciting things coming up this school year as well.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks to our viewers. Please join us next time. We're about Chesterfield County Public Schools.